Okay, so you've seen the title already, and it's not a joke. This is real, guys. It's not April Fool's or anything, baby. It's December, and Vagabond could be returning. If you know me or follow me on Twitter, you probably know how much this story means to me. Yesterday I checked my phone to see a DM from someone I'd never spoken to before, telling me that Inoue mentioned Vagabond in his latest interview. Today, on the 3rd of December 2022, the Slam Dunk movie released, and with its release came various interviews of all the staff involved in its production. Obviously that includes Inoue, the creator of Slam Dunk and the director of the movie, who had the last interview of the bunch released yesterday on the 2nd of December. For a while now, I've struggled to be hopeful about a Vagabond return. It's been over 7 years since 327, the last chapter, was released, and being optimistic about it eventually returning has been pretty difficult. So difficult that when this Inoue interview was announced a few weeks ago, I accepted this as the final straw. If Inoue didn't mention Real or Vagabond, which are two of his mangas currently on hiatus, I would have accepted that Vagabond would probably never return and never be completed. Real is so close to ending, and he's been releasing it not long ago, so I had some faith in that, but Vagabond's been gone for 7 years, and he hasn't mentioned it at all in these last 7 years. But to my absolute delight, he does mention Vagabond in this interview for the first time in over 7 years, and he doesn't just mention it in passing, but he talks about it for a while and expresses a desire to return to drawing the series. I've left a YouTube link in the description for the audio clip of this interview if you guys have any doubts or reservations, and also the link to the interview in written form, which you can machine translate on Google like I did. But yeah, this is real, guys. This isn't a joke. This is absolutely real, and it's crazy to think about, man. I still haven't fully accepted it. A lot of you guys watching are probably thinking, okay, that's not really a big deal and doesn't really confirm that it's coming back, but as someone who has done extensive research on Takehiko Inoue, let me tell you, this is almost as good as an official announcement of Vagabond's continuation. Inoue is very sincere and very honest. If he says something, he absolutely means it. The fact that he refrained from talking about Vagabond for so long goes to show that choosing to mention it here is a big deal. He wouldn't have done so if it wasn't something he was absolutely certain he would be able to deliver on. And above just that, the fact that he said he can't wait to return to drawing is a huge deal. Why? Because Inoue has had a very complicated relationship with Vagabond over the years. There have been times where he felt completely disillusioned with drawing the manga and lost his passion, not wanting to continue at all. And that's one of the biggest reasons why he started taking all of these hiatuses to begin with. In a 2010 interview, he refers to his hiatus as a sort of death for himself as an artist. Pretty heavy words, which he himself acknowledges, but he states that he had been dragging along a lot of baggage for a very long time, and it was hindering his performance as a mangaka. So he goes on hiatus, because he knows a long break away from drawing Vagabond would allow him to perform as a much better artist when he eventually does return. Once he returns to that state of innocence, he will be able to make a manga several times better than what he was capable of at that time. That's a pretty insane statement, considering this is my favourite fictional work of all time by a pretty huge margin, and he stated this when he was writing some of my absolute favourite chapters in the series back in 2010. The fact Inoue thinks he can create something several times better than that is equally unbelievable as it is exciting. I don't know if that's even possible. How do you write something several times better than that? You can't, man. Like, the more I think about it, that nigga capping, bro. That's impossible. You can't write something several times better than that. I'm sorry, Inoue. Anyways, of course, Inoue returned after that interview was done and continued releasing chapters for another 5 years, on and off with a lot of breaks or hiatuses in between. But once he finished the farming arc in January of 2014, he only released 6 chapters of the Hosokawa arc, which haven't even been packaged into a tankobon format. And interestingly enough, chapter 326 came out in 2014, then he took a year and a month break, so a 13-month break, and dropped chapter 327 in 2015. It's the most irregular release out of all of his chapters, and the way it was released and the way it ends makes it feel like it was an intentional drop for him to take this long extended hiatus and have a long break away from Vagabond while he either focuses on other things in his life or just tries to get into a better state of mind as an artist. There's a rumor that Inoue has been waiting for his kids to graduate before he continues releasing Vagabond. I'm not sure how true that is because I've never seen an actual source for that, but if you guys know anything about that, please let me know in the comment section. I'm super interested. Something else that probably comforted Inoue during this hiatus is the fact that he has already depicted the final moments of Musashi's life in the last manga exhibition of 2008. When you've already drawn the final moments of your main character's life, the end of their journey, it's probably going to have a huge impact on your motivation to draw everything working up towards that moment. And that really does make me wonder, what will the final chapter of the actual manga look like? Will he redraw the last exhibition over the course of multiple chapters and in a more fitting style for a manga release? Or will it be a completely different ending that works in tandem with the exhibition, sort of like the anime ending of Evangelion working alongside the end of Evangelion movie? It's very interesting to think about, but that's not what I'm most excited for. And you guys probably agree. If Vagabond returns, which it seems like it will soon, there's one thing that all of us are anticipating. The duel between Miyamoto Musashi and Sasaki Kojiro, the duel of legend that Inoue has been working towards for practically the entire story. I cannot begin to express my excitement for this, and the fact that we might be getting it in the next few years is just ridiculous to think about. I've only been caught up to Vagabond for like 3 years now, so I can't even begin to imagine what receiving this news must have felt like for the long-time fans who have been awaiting a continuation, mainly to see that fight as well, that has already reached a legendary status without even being drawn yet. Musashi vs Kojiro is guaranteed to be one of the best fights ever. Like, no, even them just looking at each other on a page is gonna be the greatest shit ever. That's how well set up it's been. Man, I don't know, man. I'm excited, bro. I'm keeping this in. I'm like literally speechless. Greatest of all time. I've said this a few times, but the fact Inoue stated he can't wait to return to draw is such a huge deal, and I could honestly see us receiving chapter 328 of Vagabond in 2023. But again, don't really get your hopes up. This isn't an official announcement. It isn't a confirmation that it's returning, but it is big, big news. What do you guys think about it? Are you as excited as I am, or do you still have trust issues and feel skeptical? What are you most looking forward to in the upcoming chapters of Vagabond? Would you guys be interested in me making Vagabond content on the channel? Please let me know your answer to these questions in the comment section below, and pray with me that we get some sort of official announcement that Vagabond will be continuing in the foreseeable future. Thank you very much for watching.